Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Ronnie George. I'm the broker of the George Group, and right now Jack Ussery has graced me with his presence. He is crushing it in the real estate game. He's just got his license last year around September, October timeframe. He's been with the brokerage. He currently has 5 pending deals and 6 listings, and he's just absolutely blowing it away. So I really wanted to get in front of him today and do some recording and talk about his success, what's helped him achieve where he's at. And oh, by the way, he's only 21 years old. And on that note, Jack, do you even own a house yet?
No, I do not.
Jack does not even own a house yet, but he's slinging real estate left and right. So Jack, take it away. I want to thank you for your time. And what do you have to say?
Yeah. So 21 years old, don't own a house, currently renting, but I'm learning everything I can to do real estate the best in my ability. I really kind of nosedived into this industry.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to like it, but the whole world of sales and getting in contact with people up front, facing your fears, stepping out of your comfort zone, that's something that I've learned to love in these
Yeah.
past 4 months. It's been since September. So it's been a crazy journey so far, but exciting and rewarding. I love it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, the other things, since you have so many listings, how did you get those listings? Where did they come from? Because not many people go for listings when they first get started. Most people are very scared to even reach out to someone to get a listing. So why is that different for you?
Well, I have to thank you, first of all, and Heather Wise. She helped a
Mhm.
lot as well. She's my mentor. And essentially what I would do was one of the strategies you implemented. We use various apps in the real estate game. So Follow Up Boss, you got me in contact with that. I would just call up people, email them any chance I got. At times you feel like you're wasting your day, but me being when I first started, you're
Right.
going to do anything to crawl up the ladder to get up there and get your face seen. So I would do that, follow up with people as much as I can. Facebook, I would message people constantly. And even though I get 1,000 no's, that one yes,
Yeah.
man, I love it. It is a great feeling. And essentially, Zillow. I would go on Zillow for sell by owner. Easy. You go in there, you call the number. It's going to be scary at first, but once
Right.
you do that, you're going to get comfortable. Keep calling people. And you're going to get some yeses. And that's how I got all 5 of mine, honestly.
Right.
Zillow, Facebook, Follow Up Boss.
It's a numbers game, essentially. You didn't take just one approach and said, all right, this is what I have to do. You basically did a shotgun approach with a very targeted style. The goal was to get as many people and then connect with them and then try and convert them, right?
Right.
And what script did you kind of use? Like, how, when you got them on the phone, it sounds like that's what you're saying. Like, did you have anything specific you would say to them or what?
So I would use the George Group script that you gave us at first, but then I was like, you know, personally, it wasn't me. I was like, I don't want to be kind of robotic when it comes to it. So I kind of just went with a natural flow,
Mhm.
introduce myself. One of my biggest weaknesses, I will just admit, first of all, is like I would always start off with, hey, my name is Jack Ussery. Are you willing to work together, get your house sold? I'm willing to lower my commission. Now,
Right.
recently I learned that's probably not the best way to do things because
Right.
you're just kind of selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Now that I know my weakness in terms of that, I fixed that. And then I say to myself all the time, um, my name is Jack Ussery. I'm going to give you the best I can. We're the best brokerage around here in Alexandria, kind of just, who we are. We represent something that's strong in terms of our ability to sell things, advertise your property, and we're going to push that. And we can get the job done for you. You sit back, relax. We'll do the hard work for you.
Right.
Always just a solid, yeah. I mean, I trust you. I'm glad. And follow up is key, man. You never
Yeah.
want to leave somebody hanging. Always come back to them because you never know.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Like you said, with going off of the script and then incorporating your own flow, because I think that's the thing with scripts is some people just get so scared. But the
Mhm.
whole point of scripts is really just to get you a baseline of what to even say. And then once you internalize the flow of the conversation, then you could add your own personality to it, your own flair to it, because you know the whole goal is to get through those steps to qualify people to see if they're even interested. And then, okay, well, what do you do next? Oh, now we set up appointment. Now we do this. And next thing you know, you have a listing.
Right. That's
Right.
it.
So what kind of obstacles did you kind of face when it came to dealing with for sale by owners? Like when you would call people, would people hang up on you? Would people
Oh,
say, leave me the hell alone or what?
that's it, man. Like you call people and they will either yell at you, hang up on you, and tell you that they already have a realtor, even though they probably most likely don't.
Right.
They like the people in the South, I've learned, I mean, I've been here all my life, but they don't like to tell you no. They'll
Yeah.
say, hey man, I'll call you back. I'll do this, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah. That's
So yeah,
people are
definitely
bad about
rejection is a big thing. But you just gotta learn how to overcome that adversity, just pat it back up.
Yeah, see, and that's a good point too, because when you're locking someone down, you want to make sure that it's like a hard yes instead of just like a soft yes, because they'll say yes just to hush, just to shut you up, and just to get you off the phone. But that's a good thing that you've actually noticed that, because people here are very passive aggressive, and they won't sit there and be direct with you. They're like, oh, sure. They all want to save face. So
Yeah.
the more that you understand that, which is a good observation, because not many people get that, because they get very confused. They're like, they've told me yes, but then they don't answer again. It's like, well, they just wanted to get you off the phone.
It's
But
frustrating.
I like that you've taken this from a not a personal perspective, but more of a business perspective. You don't take it personal in the sense that you're like, hey, it's just business. I get it. And you move on to the next one. Now, I
Right.
remember when we first talked, that was kind of, you wanted to push really hard in the marketing and different stuff like that. What kind of strayed you away to like, okay, because I guess this is a point I kind of want to make to people that are watching, because most people want to get into real estate and do every single thing except work. And the sense of they all want to, do videos and do marketing and do posts on Facebook, but it's like, what's your ratio to see what actually is guiding you business compared to what spends a lot of time?
Yeah. So one of the big things as a common person who wanted to get into real estate and kind of get my name out there was to make videos, was to keep posting things on Facebook. But honestly, none of that is going to get you anywhere if you don't sell anything, if you don't interact with people. So that's the route I was trying to take, learned that real quickly, good mentors in the group telling me, hey man, slow down on the videos, start talking, start taking action instead of trying to present yourself or build your brand already. And
Yeah.
that was one of the big, it took me back. I was like, man, they're probably right. And it's kind of scary. But I mean, the big thing people got to realize is the minute you're out of your comfort zone, you seek that discomfort, you're going to explode.
Yeah.
I mean, so true. It's so true. You'll just evolve, honestly, as an agent.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Once you kind of dive into something and you start getting results, it's like, wow, this isn't as hard as you would think. I think people overcomplicate it because they think they have to do all these things. And if all they did was just make phone calls to people, reach out, text, email, they would be successful. But
Mm-hmm.
everyone doesn't want to do that.
No, not one bit. Now that I got my listings and, I'm starting to get my first closings next week, actually, and I have 5 closing in February. But besides that, now that I'm actually taking that action, I'm going to reward myself by building my brand now, kind
Right.
of put that. I got with you to make a logo, figure that out. And I think there's always going to come a time to do that kind of stuff. And now's
Yeah.
my time, I think, or start early.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point as far as building your brand simultaneously instead of like leading with that, because people are not going to reach out to you just for their brand. They're going to reach out to you for you, and your brand's just going to happen to be something there as a byproduct, and it's going to be there along the way. So I think over the years it'll grow and people will see it and it'll become synonymous with you and it'll make sense. But the other thing you had alluded to earlier was you said your mentor. And that's something that at the George Group we do have is a mentorship program. And Jack, you're one of the few that's actually in the mentorship program and taking it seriously. So what's kind of your input on that? Say, for instance, if you were just a solo agent by yourself since you just started last year, in comparison to working with a top producing agent as your mentor, like how do you think that would have went?
If I would have started by myself, ain't no way. I have a million questions a day.
Yeah.
And, I feel like everybody who comes into real estate is going to have somebody who's going to guide them. In my case, Heather Wise, amazing. Like she just always on top of the game. Every time I need a phone call, boom, she's there to help. She got with me in the beginning to help me with the MLS, figured out the concepts of that. Even when I wasn't even like in the game, didn't take my test yet. We were going over contracts, and it was just because that was one of the things I was like, I don't want to mess this up. Now, if I wouldn't have went in there alone, no way. I would have been so nervous, worried I was going to mess up something. But by the time I got my license and everything was all done, I was ready to start writing up things, maybe a question here and there. I mean, to this day, I still have questions. And that's one thing I want to address too is never be afraid to ask a question.
Right.
Even if you are the most experienced, there's always going to come a time where you're confused, and it's okay. You're not dumb. It doesn't make you look bad. You're being more of a professional if you just seek an answer, you
Mhm.
know? So definitely mentorship program is a plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised too, of how well it's kind of worked out. But I also think that you hit the ground running because you were very determined to actually make it work. Some people don't take it as serious, so it's really good to see that that was able to kind of get you where you needed to go with stuff. Because I think with real estates and most brokerages, where they fail is they don't provide enough resources to those agents like yourself that can be extraordinary, and they basically say, y'all go figure it out,
Yeah.
but you never really get past go. Basically, this way you can build momentum. And the next thing you know, you start looking over the horizon. You're like, wow, I can do this. I am doing this many deals. It's like you start seeing what you're capable of. So
Mhm.
that's really cool that it's helped to get you to that point. And on what you just said too, I think that's a good point, because I've noticed a lot of younger agents that I talk to, they're very concerned about messing things up. So I don't know if that's just something with society or just in general,
Mhm.
making people think that they're just going to break something. Because as you see, there's no one thing that you can do with real estate that's just going to totally blow a deal. And there's always stuff that you're going to screw up in the middle of a deal. You're going to be like,
Always.
I shouldn't have sent that, or I shouldn't have said this. So it's a constant learning process. So it's good, like you said, reach out if you have questions. There's no dumb question. I mean, I'm always here to answer any questions you have, and your mentor is always there. And then even other agents in the group, we're always there to kind of help. So I think it's kind of one big family in a sense of we all want to see one another be successful.
So that's so right there. The George group, like when we all had the Christmas get together,
Yeah.
that was the first time I got to meet everybody in person. And I
Yeah.
was a little nervous. I was like, I hope this turns out well. But like you said, it is like a legit cohesive little family where everybody's
Yeah.
just laughing, having a good time. And, we have each other's backs. There's always, if you need a favor, for example, one of our agents is out sick right now, I'm willing to do showings for you. And I did some for him on the weekend, help them out a little bit.
Right.
It's just everybody has each other's back, and eventually down the road they'll pay it back. That's just how it
Yeah,
works.
exactly. Yeah, there's no cutthroat mindset here. And I think that's the other thing is some agents come in, being very alone and very scared. And I think that we've done a great job of creating an environment to where we do feel like a family. We do have one another's backs, and we're not sitting here trying to screw one another over. So
Right.
that's been pretty cool to see that grow. And it's good that you've at least noticed and acknowledged that. But now that kind of where you are in the industry, where do you kind of see yourself, at the end of the year and the next 5 years? Like, what are kind of your goals now that you, like you said, you have like 5 closings in February? It's like, where do you want things to go?
Yeah. So in terms of my goals, I definitely want to become a top producer this year. And in order to do that, I believe it'll do 2 million in real estate sales, if I'm correct. But the thing is, my goal for each month is to get at least 2 listings or 2 sales a month. I
Mhm.
think I can do that just by
Yeah.
being consistent every day, working hard. Eventually, I do want to make at least 50,000 personally of money for myself, just to congratulate myself and look into saving that and possibly moving in the Lafayette area. I think I changed my mind. I did want to go to Baton Rouge, but I feel like Lafayette's the place to go after just weighing my options
Yeah.
and possibly doing, of course, dealing with things in Alexandria and working in Lafayette,
Right.
kind of balancing out that world. But definitely my major goal right now is top producer, buy a house, and maybe dabble in investment property.
Yeah.
Start young. You never know what can happen.
I like it. Exactly. No, I think it's good. I think there's very realistic goals. And yeah, you're definitely very capable to achieve those numbers and the money. And if not even double that, very easily. But it's just all the amount of effort that you put into it. I'm going to die, man. All right. But yeah, exactly like what you said. But on that note, I really wanted to thank you for your time to sit down with me, ask, answer any questions that I may have. I'm pretty sure that the information you relayed is probably very insightful, and it's probably very helpful to some of those agents out there looking in of like, how do I get started? Should I become a real estate agent? Now, maybe that's the last question for you is what is it that's made you decide to become a real estate agent at 21 years old?
Yeah. So when I got at LSU, I graduated from college actually. So people who are leaving college, I know you don't need a degree for real estate, but I thought to myself was, what can I use my advertising degree that I got and implement it rather than working for like an advertising firm. And I was like, real estate, that's one thing that you can, you know, potentially make high money. You can still talk to people, be interactive, where you're not stuck in an office all day. And personally, that's something I thought, I was like, you know what, let me do it. Now, like I said, I nosedived into it, but thank God, it's just every day I wake up, I'm like, I'm glad what I do, because, you know, you're your own boss technically.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect for me.
Yeah. Awesome, brother. Well, you're doing amazing. I think you have big things ahead of you. I'm proud that you're part of the whole George group. So it's good that you're a good fit. But yeah, man, I appreciate your time and I hope you have a good rest of the day. And that's all I got for you guys.
You too, man.
All right, later.